Hi guys, it's me, Kathy, MrsHandyRU. Sorry to be gone so long. I've been out in the garden doing a lot of things for the springtime, getting ready for my new plants. And Rosie's here, but she's down a little bit low, but I'm sure you can hear her. And I hope everybody's doing really well. I really do mean that. And I hope you can hear me. I've got this great big microphone over here, like this big professional kind of microphone. So I hope you can hear me after all this. Mr. Handy picked it out. So let's see. I thought this was interesting. Sorry, my voice is kind of already messed up. We'll get through it though. There was an incident in Buffalo. Okay, stop pushing on my papers, honey. There was an incident in Buffalo a few days ago. It was on the 15th, May 15th. And it was, let's see, the headline said, I don't even know if I should say the words, even though it was a headline. KILLED in supermarket SHOOTING. And it was 10 at the time. So 10 gone in this, like I said, it was in Buffalo. Later, they changed the number to 13. Great number. So this isn't by the bad guys, in my opinion. Most of these stories are now from the good guys. So I'll tell you, I have to move my papers because of Kitty. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry. Let's see. So the word KI, ED, in supermarket thing equals 154. And 154 equals fake news is the enemy of the people. Everything is going to be all right. And it's not spelled ALL, it's spelled kind of how people write it slang, ALRIGHT. Secret is out, now you know. And the truth shall set you free. So that's 154. And a police spokesperson said, it was like walking into a horror movie. And it happened at Tops Market on Jefferson Street. Well, Tops Markets is 157, and that equals stage is set. This is crazy and horror show, just like what the spokesperson said. He said horror movie, but this is horror show. And Jefferson Street is 185, and that equals Donald John Trump. So he's signing these. There's a couple of the guys in here signing these. I'm going to do a couple of these incidents. So let's see, 3 people wounded, 2 of them critically at the time that they, wrote the article. So then I looked at it as the numbers. 3 people wounded, 2. So there was a 3 and a 2. So 32 is Eve, 32 is Eve. And we've been talking a lot about Eve. I think that's what they're pointing out. Then write out 3 and 2, the 2 words, and that's 114. And here we have our other signatory for the event. We had Donald John Trump. Now we have JFK Jr., and Jr. is spelled out. That's 114. So we have our two of our jokers signing the event. And it also equals 114 also equals First Lady, and First Lady like Eve, right? Yeah, President Trump is always talking about he and Melania with your future First Lady going down the escalator. First Lady, it's Eve. High-powered rifle was mentioned. I said the word like a bang word. It's 168, and it happens to equal Don John Trump. And you are safe now. So what do you think? I don't think it's real. 17 seconds. It's a very short little article. 17 seconds. They said body armor. So I noticed it because it was at 17. And that equals 111. And do not panic is 111. And Juan Savin, without the O, Juan Savin is 111. So they've signed it all over the place. So what do you think? I don't think it's real. Okay, now this is a little more personal, this one. Okay, there was an incident, another incident, but not the same type of thing like with the bang bang, you know. So the Amtrak was going from, well, it was going from my state in New Hampshire, and it was going up towards Portland, Maine. And I had some people I know that were on this. So it's more personal, but they don't know anything about this. So I know what happens is these things seem so real. Like, I mean, the police will be there, ambulances, fire department, whatever it takes, they'll make it look real and it will feel real. So I don't blame them for thinking that this was real. But anyway, here it is decoded. There was an event with the Amtrak train and there was an accident. And it sounded like two people ran in front of it, not in a car, but just two people. Like, yeah, on purpose. Okay. And people I know were very upset, of course, and the train stopped for a long time and there was all kinds of activity. And anyway, so I'm going to go into the whole article now, finally. It takes so long. So the article, I usually look at who writes the article, and that'll give you a hint right off the bat. Like, is this real or not? Look up the name. So this was by Bradford Betz, B-E-T-Z. Okay. And it was through Fox News. And Bradford Betz is 121, and that's Don Trump. Bradford, when you break the name down, is 68, equals novel, like you know, novel fiction. Okay, Betz is 53, and that equals deceived. Oh, I'm sorry, deceive, not deceived. So, yeah, and the time that it was put online was, well, for one thing, it was on 5/8/22. And so there's a 58 in there. And the time that it was posted was 5:58. So you have 58 twice. And that's like an obvious thing when you look at the, you know, when you look at that. 58 is our junior's, one of his phrases. Remember when we very first saw him, that we really, you know, realized it was him, and he's holding that sign, Women for Trump, and it said Ruby Cute on it. And it has lots of different meanings. It's talking about Jack Ruby and all that. But Ruby Cute is, like I said, 58, but it also equals I must be God and well played. Okay, so this event was well played, and CNN fake news. So that's what 58 was in there twice. And it all, you know, when you think about it, how many times did President Trump say CNN is fake news? I mean, I know that this was a Fox thing, but the point is that this wasn't real. Yeah, let's see, how do we go? Maine Amtrak train accident leaves 2 dead. The only caps in that whole headline were Maine and Amtrak. So the train accident leaves 2 dead. None of those words were capitalized. So M and A, I've just looked at those too. That's 14, and it equals am. I mean, I know it's silly, but am. And then guess what else it equals? DJ for Donald John. It equals DIA for Diana. So we have all these like basically signatures going on. So 2 dead. Now that we realize from the other coding that it's not real, it's so obvious. So we've got 2 dead. It equals 72. I am alive equals 72. Satire, mischief, revealed, and Donnie. Okay. Under the headline, said another line was, the incident delayed several Amtrak trains. The Biddeford, which is BIDDEFORD, and we say it funny in New England, so we say it like Biddeford. Biddeford Police Department told Fox News the individuals were hit around 11 a.m., approximately 1,000 feet from Main Street. So we've got that 111 like we did in the last one again. So Biddeford Police Department is 243. It equals, can you handle the truth? If you knew what I know, I knew. If you knew what I knew. And 243 is also 45th president. Okay. And then it said 81 people were on board the northbound train, police said. Now, this was a very short article, like super, super short. And on board was said twice. It was written on board as one word, and then almost immediately it said on board, 2 words. So it happened very quickly that you had on board and on board. Redundant, but no injuries were reported on board. Like I said, it happened twice. So you take 81, reverse it to 18, you have R again for Junior signing it. And because who knows how many people were on board, really? I mean, when all these things are made up, it could have been 81 or could have not been 81, but it all kind of makes it all fit. They make it all fit to what the story should be. So on board, whether you have a gap in between the making it 2 words or not, obviously, is 69, and that equals FALSE, floppy thing, FLAG. So that's what that was. So on board equals 69, which is that. So anyway, then the trains were delayed, and let's see, Amtrak was, I mean, of course this Amtrak was in there in this article because it was an Amtrak train. But it was said many times, kind of like excessively in this really short article. So I thought, well, let's just do that. Everything else is coded. Let's just do Amtrak. And it's 64, and that equals 0 and true and test and tenant. So like 0 true, basically. Tenant, he's a big time movie director with, special effects and everything. And Amtrak at 64 equals movie. So that's kind of why they said it so many times, in my opinion. And back a bit, when they said 11 a.m., just write out, instead of the numbers, of course, you just write 11 and a.m. That's 77, which of course is Christ. But it also equals wake up, the big lie, on the move and operating, like everything's okay. The truth is to be told, and pretty little liars. remember that TV show? I mean, not that I watched it, but I remember the title. So Pretty Little Liars. Isn't that funny? So individuals were hit was also in this article. That's 212. Now you can take a phrase out of anything, like I'm always telling you guys, you can take a phrase out of a book, like say it's written by someone that you're interested in. You could see like what in the world they're saying beyond what they said. I mean, I'm talking in code. I don't even know I'm talking in code. So at some point, we're all going to know what else we're saying and what else we're meaning, like at another level. Probably after the Leviathan attack and all that stuff. And I'm always forgetting to tell you, in case you're new, I hope you guys are sharing the broadcast so we do get some new people. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing Gematria, potato, and it's a Bible coding, and it's A = 1 through Z = 26. And I use gematrix.org, and I plug in the phrase or the word or the capital letters, and I figure out what the matches mean to me. Let's see. Individuals were hit. I think that's where I stopped. It's 212. There are no coincidences. We've heard that before. And and a President Trump phrase that he says quite often, we'll see what happens. So 212, we'll see what happens equals there are no coincidences. And that also equals, do you know who I am? So when he says, we'll see what happens, he's also saying, do you know who I am? And another match to 212 is John Kennedy Jr. And Jr. is spelled out. So I don't think these are coincidences, you guys. I'm sure you don't either. No, unless you're totally brand new to this stuff and you go, well, I don't know about that, I've just done this decoding for too long for this to just be by chance. That it seems to be signed by our guys, as I call them, President Trump and Jr. And now we have Diana and sometimes Jackie, and it just can't be a coincidence. And our favorite Anon, as I like to call him, 17th letter, says there are no coincidences. So they're not any coincidence. And as I've said before, in the Jewish language, there isn't even a word for coincidence, because, and I'm sure in their opinion, there isn't a coincidence. Everything's tied together. Everything has meaning. So, okay, now George, right? So I'm going to do a little bit about George. I love George news. I love George, whoever George is. And so from George News, okay, I don't know if you can see it. It says not just politics as usual underneath. It's got two hashtags too, two / hashtag, not hashtags, / marks. I'm not sure what that equals, but I'm sure it equals something that I just don't know. But not just politics as usual, it's 316. And that is nothing can stop what is coming. That's like a phrase that we haven't been using for all that long on our little, tweets and telegrams and things like that. So 316 is also the anointed king of the Davidic line, and Jesus Christ resurrection. And how about this? They were a great looking couple. And that is a line word for word that when I did the decode with the 100-year-old man and his wife Rose, and they were being helped back into the car by the three black men. I did a little decode on that a while back. And that's what the police policewoman who wasn't a policewoman, Kanisha Carnegie, said. She said, that's exactly what she said. They were a great looking couple, like were. You know, she didn't say they're a great looking couple. That kind of would be more like what would fit that moment. They were a great looking couple. I don't know. And 222 also equals not just politics as usual. And we're always told to follow the twos, you know, 2 lines up with the Kennedys, JFK Jr., everything. And, you know, the 22nd was the date that he supposedly left the Earth plane, but he didn't. And he set that all up. And in case you're new, go look at the playlist. And I've got videos about, sorry, Kitty, I'm sorry, honey. Anyway, I've got, I'm getting way too excited. Videos about how President Kennedy and lots of other people set this all up. And he didn't leave. And it wasn't, what was his name? I can't even think. You know who I mean. Oh, Lee Harvey Oswald. It was all made up. Jack Ruby, all made up. Everything, all of it. So if you don't know about that, go and check it out. And tell your friends. They'll go, she's nuts. He's nuts. Let's see. Guess what else is 316, which matches not just politics as usual. Do you think this was chosen by accident? It wasn't. 316 equals Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr. 316. Can you even believe it? I didn't know. Are my Joseph Patrick, who reincarnated into JFK Jr. And then there's a whole series on that, I think, don't I? Yeah, I think there's a whole, well, I hope so. If not a series, there's at least a video you can look for explaining it. So isn't that fun? I just love it. Now I didn't even realize it, but now when I went back and looked at georgenews.org, it also, now it doesn't say not just politics as usual. Now it says your real news platform. The 2 / hash marks, whatever you call it, just like this, and they're in gold on here, aren't they? Aren't they in gold? Yeah, they're in gold. And so your real news platform. So we're going to decode your real news platform, of course. In it, of course, and then it says 2022. Okay, your real news platform is Quantum Financial System. Okay, the whole thing, I should say, is 277. I forgot, sorry. My best friend and true love, I love that. And the 2 soulmates are named, I wonder who that is. Adam and Eve. Sorry, my camera went out of focus with my paper. You want to say hi, Rosie? Okay, she's up. Want to say hi? Where's that little face? Oh, hi, honey. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, honey. She was up and about, so I thought I'd just stop because everybody seems to like Rosie. So, yeah. You a good girl? Yeah. Everybody that loves dogs and hates cats are like, oh, just put the stupid cat down. I understand. I understand. Some people are dog people and they're not cat people and whatever. And she's stuck on my shirt. She's such a good kitty. And she's doing very good. So I'm very happy. You're going to stay up here? You're going to go? Did I just bother you? Oh, no. Oh, you're okay. Your real news platform, 277. The 2 soulmates are named. I said that. How about this one? God makes her blush terribly. You guys, You guys are so funny. Let's see. And then the not funny, must be killed in this manner. Remember my whole thing with the Leviathan, the whale, or whatever in the heck it is. You can turn back time, which I think we knew that. Time is not like linear like we thought. It's kind of a loop. How about this? Speaking of loop, the tunnel through the air. And I've heard different people talk about that with moving through from here to there through a tunnel. And I think, yeah, it was Michelle Fielding was talking about that. So that was pretty neat. The pure of heart will see God. That matches. The risen Christos, I hope I said that right, Christos Sophia. These are the two brothers. That matches their Your Real News platform. These are the two brothers. Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr., like I just said on the page before, became JFK Jr. And so he really isn't the son of President Kennedy. He's really the brother of President Kennedy. So yeah, I've got this here. So this might help. This may help. So, okay. So if you look at when they were born, it'll just tell you the year, the years they were born. And I've gone into this before, but it's always good to kind of refresh on and stuff. So John was supposed to, JFK, President Kennedy, John was supposed to be born 1917. And Joseph was supposed to be born 1915. So Joseph would have been older by what we would have thought 2 years. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 years, sorry. And I think it was an angel Anna, and I honestly don't know if it was it was just somebody that I've gotten to know online, and they left a comment saying, because I kept wondering like why brothers kept showing up and things like that and decoding. And the twin candle stands, that's in Revelation 11. And twins. So it wasn't just brothers, it was twins that kept popping up, and all the decoding from like President Trump and Juan and different things. So the person was a very nice lady, I think it was a lady, I don't know, said to look at it. No, wait, the person said, who's a viewer, said, don't look at it. Well, no, it wasn't don't look at it. It was twins. When twins are born, even though they're only a couple minutes apart, the one born first always thinks of themselves as the older one, which I mean, they're older by only a couple minutes, but you know, and I, you know, from what I understand, they act like it too, like the older one. So look at the 24-hour clock. I think this was from another person. Yeah, everybody's trying to help me figure this out, because I was like talking about it going, I don't know. And so look at it on a 24-hour clock, and keep remembering that a lot of things that are in Wikipedia, which is where we're getting these dates, years. Wikipedia, like look at the articles that are not real, like I just was describing. Wikipedia, there's things that are written that are not real. And sometimes it's for bad reasons, I'm sure. And sometimes now it's for good reasons. So look at it like a military clock, 24-hour clock. Joseph would have been born, let's see, sorry, for 7:15 p.m. So 1915 on a 24-hour clock is 7:15 p.m. And John, the younger one, was born a couple minutes later, and he was born at 7:17 p.m. So really, John is the younger of the two. Isn't that funny? I know it's really weird, but, and Joseph died. Now I always wonder, sometimes I go back and forth about that, you know, did he die? Did he not? But I think he did because he came back as Junior, because otherwise none of these numbers make sense. And because there was a plane crash and he had kind of not experimental, maybe it was called experimental explosives on board, and he was supposed to be like the first drone, and it was going to be a drone attack. He was supposed to bail out with his co-pilot. It's funny, his co-pilot's name is escaping me, but it was a W and a W, like I can't think. I didn't, well, I could look it up, but I don't want to bore you. Interesting that it was a W and a W. When you think about it, because Juan called his W for, like you said, over 16 years. So, you know, for all these different YouTube channels, and he would call in as a guest with inside information. And way back in the old ones, he gave way more information out than he does now. So if you can find the old ones, it's worth a look. I think you can find them on 107 Archive on Telegram, I think. Maybe you should just do a search on 107 Archive. I can't think. Okay, so Joseph, who was the older, he was supposed to, like I said, bail out of the plane, and suppose what I guess happened is the plane exploded, probably on purpose. I'm sure they tried to kill him, but you can't kill God, right? You can't kill any of those people. And they're all connected. Don't ask me how, but they are. And there's a bunch of them. Let's see. So actually, I mean, they're not even just brothers, they're twin brothers. Okay, so I don't know if I said that earlier, but if I didn't, I'll add that. And think about Junior with the faked PC plane crash, where, you know, there wasn't a plane crash, at least as far as I know. Some people say there was a plane that was found. Maybe there was a wreckage of a plane, but I don't think he was in the plane. Well, I suppose he could have, and he could have bailed out. I mean, I don't know, but it's a, you know, I think that's why they chose a plane crash for him supposedly exiting, and because of what happened to himself as Joseph during World War II. I don't have the date written down. I'm sorry. I should know it by now. And I'm sorry about the paper noise. I'm sorry about everything. And Juan, okay, this is another topic, but Juan, I was talking about Juan. He said something the other day, and he was on with Tom on Psych Club, and I can't remember I didn't write the date down. I was so tired when I wrote this. I was listening to it after the fact. I wasn't listening live or anything, and I was really tired. I can hardly read my writing. I was so tired. So yeah, Rachel was on Right Side Blonde, and Tom and Juan, and he emphasized that he had a friend, a stroke victim. Now, I didn't decode stroke victim. Darn. And she could only say when she got anxious and was really focused, like she really wanted to say something in particular, or point or say something, open a door or something. She could only say strawberries. So, okay, strawberries. He tells stories that fit what he wants to say. I really do think he does. Like when he emphasized the peaches in his movie, The Called, you know, and what is it? Peaches equals Mary, you know, Mary and him, Jesus. And I know a lot of people think that's awful to say, but I mean, I'm only going by all the decoding I've done for hours and hours and hours and a long time. So we emphasized strawberry, and that's 149. and it equals alpha and omega and the Prince of Peace. Okay, and it comes up again, but I can't remember if it comes up right now. I hope I have it in the right order. Strawberry comes up in one of my things really soon. I don't know. Let's see. I think I have. I don't have the strawberry thing in here. Oh, that's so anticlimactic. Oh, that's horrible. What a way to run a show, huh? That's bad. It's really, really bad. Anyway, is there a little thing I can tell you in between? I got so much stuff to tell you. It's like everywhere. Oh, I don't know if you remember, but President Trump was in, I think it was when he was with Mario Andretti. It was when he was doing The Apprentice, and you know, the TV show The Apprentice in New York. And Mario Andretti came and picked him up in his sports car. I don't remember what it was called. I'm sure a lot of you guys yelling at the screen what it was called, the kind of car. But on the license plate, it said Outa Time, O-U-T-T-A. Yeah, and that equals 124. I have a lot, but I won't go into all of it. But Outa Time seems very important. It was his license plate on that car, and his, you know, time travel and the whole thing. And when you watch the video, there is a small video out there where you can see him leaving the Apprentice show, and he gets in the car with Mario, and he's behind Mario, and on the dashboard, it's the what is it called? Back to the Future dashboard with all the numbers. So you're going to get down? Okay, you can get down. It's all right. So Outa Time, oops, no, she slipped. Sorry. So Outa Time is 124, and it equals, let's see, when in Rome, like do what everybody else is doing. Yeah, this is very interesting. Equals rocket ship. You always talk about rocket ship to the moon. And there's a Greg, you know, I'm always talking about Greg Wagland and his Sherlock Holmes audiobooks. You guys have to listen to them. You really do. It's not the same as the Jeremy Brett series, like the movies, because there's a lot more information that he gives. I mean, and Jeremy Brett, those Sherlock Holmes, they have information too. Don't get me wrong, but the Greg Wagland, and Greg Wagland is probably, I think from what I gather, it's JFK and his brother, our junior. You know, when I say JFK, I mean President Kennedy. So I mean, of course I could be wrong about all kinds of things, but that's what I've been getting, that it's both of them kind of like taking turns, because they can sound like whoever they want. Think of who these people are. So even though they sound like they have British accents and all, they can sound like whoever they want. They could sound like they're from Zimbabwe if they wanted to. They could do whatever. They could sound like they're from New Hampshire. I know I talk funny. So from the Crooked Man. Okay, let me get this right. The Crooked Man is one of the plots from Sherlock Holmes. And there was a guy named Mr. Presbury, and it's Presbury. And it was, you know, all these names and streets and things like that, and odd phrases in the Sherlock Holmes, all are important. So if you started writing a couple of these things down as you listen, like it's Mr. So-and-so on this street, or maybe it's a certain date that's emphasized, then go back and decode it, and you're going to be floored. Okay, so it was Mr. Presbury in The Crooked Man, and he was 124, which equaled Outa Time, which was Donald Trump's, well, Mario Andretti's license plate that President Trump, well, Donald Trump got into in the car. So some really interesting things came up from Mr. Pressberry in 124. And it says all these are 124. Joseph judged, okay, that was Eve. Like Eve, you know what, we've been talking, Eve did some bad stuff. And I'm sure she feels horrible, but it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Major crimes, sacrifice judged, your lies, father judges. It's a lot of stuff about judging. Eye for an eye. Remember President Trump said his favorite Bible quote was an eye for an eye, and everybody kind of made fun of him for it, but that's because of what's going on. An eye for an eye. It's like a life for a life is what's going to happen with the Leviathan, whale, whatever this creature is, and Eve. And I think Adam, but you know, like one day I say it's both, and so another day I say it's not. And I think there were two of them. Another reason twins pops up. Okay, there and back again. Remember that was in what was it, in The Hobbit, Tolkien's book, The Hobbit, and it was called There and Back Again. So they're going away, but then they're coming back. So they're gonna look like they pass, and they will, and then they go down or wherever HE double hockey sticks is, you know, and then they go to heaven, wherever you want to say that is. Then they're come back like on a lightning bolt or like a lightning, like a flash. And it's funny, Janine on Tarot by Janine has been talking about, Linda McAllister's been talking about a info she had, and that it was something about a solar flare is how Linda put it. I don't even know where to find Linda. I was just looking for Linda McAllister because of what Janine said. If you guys know how to watch her, let me know. I was looking for her on YouTube, UGETUBE, because that's where she used to be, but I couldn't find her. And I looked under McAllister TV. You know, it's McCallister. That's how she spells her name. I couldn't find it under Linda McAllister or McAllister TV. So if you guys know, let me know, because I want to see this information that Janine was talking about. Anyway, so yeah, she's talking about solar flare, and I was thinking, okay, could it be a flash? Could it be a literal flash? And because I've been getting a flash, things about coming and going on a flash or a beam of light. And after the event that I've been talking about in the ocean with the Leviathan and all that, which I'm talking about Revelation 11. Let's see, I am immortal, a new beginning, King Jonathan, Great Britain, coronation, Diana. Okay. I keep saying Jackie was Eve. I think possibly Jackie was one of them. I think there were twins. Like it was Jackie and Diana were Eve. And there's a whole thing, I don't know where I've got it, but there's a whole thing. Oh yeah, I already did it. Yeah, I already did that one. And it's explaining how we look at Melania, but Melania is really CBK, Carolyn, who is really Diana. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think it was either the last video before this or the two videos before this one. And it's all from decoding. And, you know, people can look like anything, you know, Melania, she's beautiful and all that. I mean, but think about Diana. Her whole thing was about children. Melania's whole thing is about children. Her whole focus is children. It's all the same, and the decoding matches that they're the same person, and that there was no CBK, that CBK really was Diana. And that was Carolyn was a created personality, like a persona created in, just like, you know, the CIA could create backgrounds for people in the bad, when they were doing bad stuff. Good guys can create backgrounds and make up stories, and, you know, that's just what happened, in my opinion. And that's why Great Britain comes up here with everything about judgment. Let's see, a human curse and deleting evil. Now, I think that that's what's going to happen. I think we're still like under the law, and I can't remember, it's John Kennedy, or is it John F. Kennedy? One of them equals under the law. And I think that we still are, however you want to look at that, which isn't a great thing. You know, a lot of us were thinking, oh, well, Jesus died for us, and, you know, died for our sins and that kind of thing. And well, if that didn't happen, or if, say, Eve was supposed to go with him and the whole thing was changed, the whole story was changed, and maybe, you know, I think it was both of them took the poison, and that made them look like they passed on, but they weren't. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I'm rambling, but that's okay. Oh, and another good one to end on for 124 equals I love you. That's 124. So anyway, take care, you guys. And I'm just going to sit here and record a bunch of videos. So I'm going to have different clothes on and all that, but I feel so bad that I've been away for so long. And but if I keep the same stupid clothes on, people say, oh, I saw that one before. So I'm going to go do a quick change, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Now let's see if I can stop recording. I don't know. Can I stop? I'm not used to recording on this one. Help me. Help me. Bye.